Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 802. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Morning, Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
802 rings a bell now. Let's think about that, because I think it was during the production of Father's Day, wasn't it?
Yes,
an image of one of the psalm boards in the church or something came out, and it was like 802 something something something, and it was like just a list of that they have at churches and stuff. And I think fans even then were looking at that, going, "Oh, what's this a reference to? Is it a thing?" And then so they picked up on this, and later on over the course of the RTD era, sometimes there would be 802 references in there as a hat tip to the furore that was caused by posting some supposedly spoilerific conspiracy stuff to do with 802.
Just to troll the fans.
Just to troll the fans. Happened even then. I want to say 802 is the number, but I could be wrong.
802 is an area code in Vermont.
Vermont. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's it. It was a call to action for Bernie Sanders. You're going to need you, Bernie.
It was his bat signal, if you will, his burn signal.
Yeah, because he was never involved in politics until 2004 or 5. They just
it was Doctor Who. What got him there?
It was. Yeah, they never talk about. They never mention that Bernie Sanders actually got into politics because of a set photo at Father's Day, shot in 2004. Never tell you that in the history books, folks. They never do. We're a penultimate Torchwood commentary today, everyone. Captain Jack Harkness is the episode. Stick around for that at the end. But first, as we always do, we take a look back. We take a look back in the annals of history of Doctor Who, the time lash, everyone, where we look back at things that occurred this date in history, mostly to do with broadcast dates, because it's the most easily tracked item that occurs. You can find all this, by the way, at tragicalhistorytour.com is where we get our little daily dose of, weekly dose, if it will, of Doctor Who stuff. I will say right now, June 13th, 1977, a certain Erica Ensign was born. So happy birthday to Erica today, who's still sleeping as I record this, but won't be when she's listening. Probably.
The best way to do a birthday.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
I did a look, because I knew for sure that no Doctor Who episode was broadcast on the day that she was born, but I did check what was being filmed at the time, and it was the very first shooting day on location of the Sunmakers is when Erica was born, at around probably midnight, so it probably had already happened in the UK, but or 10 p.m. But the scenes underground, in the tunnels and stuff, and in the elevator stuff, that stuff was shot on day one. So
as a gift,
delightfully disappointing guns.
You can buy her a makeshift Consum card.
I could. There's only $10 on that. So, sorry, 10 credits, I should say. Yes.
Also, you need the sound. Those really annoying computer sounds.
Yeah, annoying. Awesome, I think you mean to say.
It can be both.
It's got Bill in it, so.
Mm-hmm. It does.
He is great in it.
Was he there on that day? I don't know. I'm thinking to the scenes with Cordo in the lift and stuff. Everyone runs to the tax man and says, "He says you're right," and I remember that. So when that was happening, my spouse Erica was in the world for the first time. So happy birthday, Erica.
Just to pull off the Band-Aid,
all right.
Utopia aired this week in 2007.
Let me pull off the Band-Aid.
Because you
dissing Utopia.
You're gonna wax about it. This is your opportunity.
So Warren can say.
I don't know much to say other than it's awesome.
I don't know much. It aired though. You remember that, Warren? You remember when it first aired? You remember that moment?
Yes, I do. I remember being on the edge of my seat watching, presumably a torrent, because I don't think I could iPlayer my way into that.
Oh God, no, not in those days.
But I remember and avoiding the rumors swirling around about the Master, and then losing my mind when I heard Delgado's voice before he opened the watch. That was, that's still one of my top Who moments of all time.
It was, and it's funny because I was watching some of the season 8 stuff, the extras, of course, on the Blu-ray set, which Chris, you now have, and you've been watching a little bit of too.
Yeah. I finally cracked the plastic. I watched the first 2 discs, and sworn very profusely at that other than Behind the Sofa, there's no new Van. None.
For Mind of Evil, you mean, or
For Mind of Evil or Terror of the Autons?
No, there is a couple of big I mean, there's a big interview with Katie Manning. There is
there's all that stuff that comes later, but like on the actual discs 1 and 2, other than Behind the Sofa, there's like nothing for New Van, which is annoying. That said, as far as Behind the Sofa goes, I am in love with Angelina Hendra and Sacha Dhawan. They are such a cute couple.
They're delightful together. Yeah,
they are awesome.
One of the documentaries that I saw, I'm not sure it was a new one or not. No, it wasn't a new one. It was one of the older ones at the time. Happened to have that clip of Derek Jacobi hearing Roger Delgado's voice. So how apt that we talk about it today, 14 years after the fact.
Glorious, though. And it really well constructed. Like, they really build up well to that point, I think.
Yeah. It's the Graham Harper one. That's what it was. It was the Direct Route, the documentary with Michael E. Bryant, Graham Harper, and Tim Coombe, where they go around the different locations they use for season 8. And Graham Harper was mentioning that because, of course, he directed that episode. So
yeah, I've got to get to that piece.
Yeah.
Also this week, another of Warren's favorites, Love and Monsters.
That's
very good.
Yeah.
I deny the nonsense from, I was going to say idiots, but fans who say otherwise.
The haters.
I think there were that was a funny one because I remember that a lot of people were hearing about what it was, and this is like the first ever Dr. Light episode. You know, a proper. I'm not counting Mission to the Unknown in 1965 here. The first proper Dr. Light episode, and everyone was just expecting to hate it. I remember, and I've said this before in the podcast, that Tachyon TV, the old podcast run by our friends Neil and John, they were looking to hate it, sat down and actually recorded a live commentary for it. And about 20 minutes in, they realized, this is actually really good. And so the tone of their commentary changed throughout the course of the episode.
Yeah, there's a couple of off-color jokes in it. Fine, whatever. And the monster is pretty terrible. Also fine. Who cares? The monster's kind of irrelevant to the whole thing. The family story is great. The ELO music is great. The quote at the end is fantastic. The fact that they did this thing where it's a guy talking into his computer, which at the time was kind of new, you know. Mm-hmm. And definitely new for Doctor Who.
Well, YouTube
it was an interesting take.
YouTube was barely a thing. I don't know if vlogging was a thing yet.
I don't even know if it was or not. I don't know what the history of YouTube. I'm not sure YouTube was a thing in 2000.
YouTube was 2005, I think.
2005, yeah.
Okay, but still not
but
like
it never really.
It didn't take off like.
No. 2010s is when it really started taking off.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube historians, God help you, what a terrible job to have.
I mean, Google bought it years before it got as popular.
Let me tell you of the PewDiePie era. It's an interesting epoch.
Yeah, that was a hell of an episode. Yeah, very. I mean, we were just like, where's the Doctor going to show up? What is going on here? It was a bold thing. It was a bold,
it was really interesting
attempt of something to do. Because they had to do it the year before. I can't remember if it was on by design or just they had to basically alter the schedule, realizing they were running out of time, and so they had to shoot 2 concurrently in the first season, which is why. I think it was the long game was shot concurrent with. Can't remember which episode it was now, but it was one of them anyway, and so that's why there's not a lot of Eccleston in some of it, and why Adam sort of carries it.
The Dr. Light idea is a great idea. Like, it's something they hadn't really done before, and I think it really works, and it really worked with Blink. That's for damn sure.
It really did.
Also, without the Dr. Light episodes, you don't have, I don't know, the moral authority is the right way to put it, but could you have pulled off, I guess you probably could have pulled off Heaven Sent, but still it kind of adds an extra oomph to it because you've got a nothing but the Doctor episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next week we can talk about that with Turn Left.
Yeah.
Turn Left is, I've seen a bunch of fans going, it's terrible. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Turn Left is great.
Well, I mean, we could talk about that next week, but I think they... Love and Monsters really kicked off the Dr. Light thing, and I think it was really stretched to a new a way of doing things in the Moffat era, because they would basically do a full Doctor episode and then a mostly companion episode at the same time, essentially, and you would barely notice. It was just part of the drama and stuff, unless of course you're shooting Doctor Who Confidential and you don't know which episode to cover this week, and so you just send Arthur Darvill and Karen Gillan off to swim with sharks, and that's what happened there. But anyway, those are days. Speaking of Eccleston, he regenerated in 2005, June 18th, the parting of the ways. 16 years ago, folks, the end of the Christopher Eccleston era. I know. 16 years ago.
I've just been listening to part 2 of Ravagers, and it's quite entertaining.
Oh, that's good. It's good that he's back.
I've yet to get to the golden quote of "You're a nerd," but I will.
And you're just waiting to press play and record on your old cassette tape recorder there to get that as a ringtone.
Bootleg it onto a cassette tape. The most pointless exercise ever.
There's no other way to do it. There's no other way to get that onto your phone word. So, I recommend it.
Other than duct taping a cassette to my phone.
Yeah.
Hoping for the best.
Summer. We're getting into summer now, as you know, as you can tell. Unless you're in Australia, then happy winter. But now we're getting into like season endings and stuff, like the parting of the ways, like the Savages. Season 3 of Doctor Who wrapped up with. Actually, no, it didn't. It's War Machines after that. But Stephen left this day, June 18th in history, 1966. Stephen walked off. And then pretty much ended his acting career because he was out of work for like 18 months or something after Doctor Who.
And then he did 50 years on Blue Peter.
He was on Blue Peter.
But he was very popular on there, wasn't he?
He was really good on Blue Peter, but he was also really good in Doctor Who. And I feel like that was a bit of a tragedy in a way, that he sort of found fame of Blue Peter and then other presenting stuff, like he was doing the dog shows and stuff. I think he called some other stuff as well. But I thought he was a really good actor.
That's the life of a British actor, too. I mean, many British actors will do anything for money. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that they understand it's a craft.
It's amazing how many ads, TV adverts from the early 80s that I've seen pop up that feature notable actors. Like Peter Davison was selling saucepans while he was in Doctor Who and in Sink or Swim. When he was the guy at the BBC, he was doing ads for saucepans over on ITV.
Seeing Tom Baker shill inch computers was really baffling to me, because there was a real dividing line. If you were a star in North America, you didn't do ads, and that has melted a bit.
I know,
quite a bit actually. George Clooney is doing espresso ads, so I don't think it's a big deal anymore.
Or you do ads in Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, you did that because if you did them here, you ruined your reputation, right?
And stuff that airs there would never air here.
It's more of the weird stratification they have here. And just like movies and TV used to be, if you were in TV, you jumped up to movies and you never went back, right? And now that's completely obliterated because TV is the more, I don't know, streamer friendly, or this was happening before the pandemic. But yeah, it's basically that line is blurred a lot for a bunch of different reasons. George
Clooney donates 100% of his Nespresso. The only reason he did Nespresso ads basically is so okay, I'll do it, but you have to donate 100% of my salary to orphans in Rwanda. I think literally every single penny he makes goes to that. That's why.
Another thing, there's two things I like about George Clooney. He seems to be a charming, affable fellow.
Right.
Is that he spends his own money to put a satellite up to keep an eye on? I can't remember. I think it's Sudan. The rebels were operating in Sudan.
That's right.
He's like, you know what? Here's all the intelligence we need on these guys. And B, he keeps a picture of himself as Batman on his desk to remind him to stay humble.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not infallible, and there's the proof.
I remember I liked him.
He kept a picture of Joel Schumacher on his desk.
Well, apparently Joel Schumacher, despite those movies, was a beloved figure.
Yeah.
He's just a very nice guy. And, if you're Joel Schumacher and you're given a chance to do a film that crazy, it's not a good movie, but what the hell?
Yeah. I remember not.
I've still never seen
the Batman, whatever one is. No, I remember liking it.
I saw it right after seeing Contact in the theater, and that was a real come down from Contact.
That was a ride.
That was a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good Night and Good Luck is one of my favorite George Clooney films.
Excellent
by the way.
film.
Directs and co-stars in that movie. Very good film.
David Strathairn of Expanse fame
Was he in that? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, nominated.
He's great in The Expanse.
Best Actor nomination for Edward R. Murrow in that movie. Yeah, really good movie. I don't think it exists on Blu-ray, which is fascinating because it's like I thought it was pretty. So I'm clinging on to my what I thought at the time was sort of a cut price DVD, but apparently it's been the only release of it, and I can't even find it on streaming or iTunes or anything like that. It's ridiculous.
Speaking of things that don't stream, although you can apparently find it on YouTube, I recently bought for $30 the entirety of Duckman.
Yeah,
why? Because why the hell not?
Mm-hmm. Why not? Duckman was an animated show starring Jason Alexander as the voice of Duckman.
One of two good ones on Teletoon when we were working there.
Two good shows in the 7 years.
That and Simpsons. I defy you to name other ones. I don't know, maybe Captain Star, possibly Cyber 6. That's about it.
Harvey Birdman, but
that was past my time.
That's true. But back to Doctor Who. For that is what this podcast is about. The Pandorica Opens also finished. So seasons are ending, as I said. The Pandorica Opens.
Oh. Next week we have a multitude of season enders.
Oh yeah, we do.
This week we're talking about season 8, for example. The Demons episode 5 aired.
That's right.
This week, so that wrapped up season 8.
There is magic in the world after all. Yeah, which is cool because I've been to Aldbourne. Many fans have made the pilgrimage down to Aldbourne to see the location of the Demons, and seeing it there on that DVD extra or the Blu-ray extra with Michael E. Bryant and Graham Harper. It's like, yep, I've been there. I've been to that very pub. I've been to that thing. There's a fate going on. It was pretty cool. Wrapped up this day. The season that
you learned how to Morris dance.
I didn't learn how to.
You already knew how.
I did. I had to instruct some of the locals. I actually had to do it.
They're a little rusty.
Yeah, a little bit. So that happened. Parting of the Ways. The Chase Part 5. The Death of Doctor Who. Yes, that's right. Edward Warwick's starring role is as Doctor Who in The Chase occurred. That's when The Chase finally starts to get good, is what I remember. I know I've been dumping on The Chase these past couple weeks, so I thought I'd give it some love a little bit there. But all this happened in the time lapse, folks. This week in Doctor Who history. But now we talk about the future. So the BBC America has been tweeting this around a little bit, and maybe they're done now. I'm not too sure. They started on June 7th, but they have questions. You got questions for the new TARDIS trio? Ask below, and they may be able to answer them. Sure, send in your questions, but mostly what I'm raising this point is that maybe they are looking forward to begin promoting said thing, or at least compiling something to promote, either for their own purposes or Comic-Con at home is happening in next month in July. It's not the big grand normal Comic-Con, which is probably what it's happening. Is it still happening Thanksgiving weekend? I don't remember I don't know if they changed that at all or not yet, but
I don't know.
But the point is that the BBC, by the looks of it, specifically BBC America, which makes me think it might be a Comic-Con tie-in, are looking to actually promote the television show Doctor Who.
What?
Yeah.
What is going on? Are they feeling okay?
Well, I mean, it's not like you can promote much during the course of the shooting of the show that you don't want. I can kind of see that, I suppose. But
outside of hey, we have to film in public, so let's start talking about the Jadoon sort of situations.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting ahead of anything that might leak. But they haven't even done that this past year. Things are happening. One often forgets that we will likely get a new series of Doctor Who sometime this calendar year, because there will probably be close to wrapping. I'm really curious at how...
It's supposed to wrap in July, right?
I think that was like the end goal.
Original plan?
Yeah, and they were like, we're only going to do 8 episodes because COVID and stuff, but I wonder if, given how the UK has gone with vaccinations, especially early on, things are open a lot. I've been watching cricket. There's New Zealand is touring England for test matches, and I've been watching it. There were a lot of people in the stands, and no one's wearing masks. Like, is that where we're at in the UK right now? They're wearing like silly lobster costumes and stuff. I don't understand I don't understand why people dress up to go to cricket games in silly costumes and stuff. But
probably the same reason people wear like lobster outfits to do the London Marathon or
there's a thing called the Sevens, which is like a rugby thing here.
Yeah.
And apparently it's a whole thing of dressing up, and I had no idea. So I just walked out, and it was all of a sudden, it was like I was in a con, but a con with sports fan D-bags. I was like, what is happening here? Like this, because it's like a block from where I live.
Given you live very near to both the Vancouver football and hockey locations,
and
I'm sure
the football one was where the thing was happening, but it was just weird because it's like it was just odd seeing a bunch of sports fans, and I use that in quotes. I know you're a proper sports fan, Stephen.
There you go.
But you know what I'm talking about. That kind of sports fan, all dressed up in cosplay, and I'm like, oh, no, this is not right. I need to get out of here now.
You got to remember, dressing up in sports outfits is perfectly acceptable. Cosplaying is the nerdiest pursuit and should be frowned upon, according to
I think that's an opinion that we hold in the back of our heads. Not that we hold it, but that we hold as a thing that's an accepted truth, and I think that's long since passed.
I think it has, yeah. For a while, it's like, oh, what you do dressing up like, what you wearing that Doctor Who scarf? You look like a nerd. And then, well, why are you wearing a jersey with Wayne Gretzky's name on the back? Are you Wayne Gretzky? Why are you wearing that?
I think this argument has been solved long ago, and we're just old. Basically, is what I'm saying here.
We're just bringing it up to make a point again, though. Just one last kick, and I heard that final buzzer, but I shot it before the went in, so it's a goal. Anyway, my point is that I wonder if, because I know even they said like Chris Chibnall in Doctor Who magazine at the beginning of the production was sort of saying, here's what's going to happen. We're gonna aim for 8 episodes. This is like in the fall. Things were different in the fall. And, we're aimed for it. Maybe we do some more, maybe we do less. I don't know. But because it takes longer to make these episodes because of COVID protocols, will that have changed? Will they decide, you know what? We actually can make these quicker now. We've got some more vaccinations. We're good. Do we ramp up? Do we add? Do we just cram another episode or 2 in there? Like, it's not like you could just sort of write one on the fly and just go, hey, let's just shoot another episode.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. And not to mention, even if you could squeeze 1 or 2 or whatever more in, how does that affect the overall series arc if there is one? Does that lead to reshoots for other episodes to compensate? And, also, the UK is supposed to open up more widely as of June 21st or something, but maybe that is up in the air. I don't know. So.
Yeah, because there's the Delta variant coming in there a little bit, which might throw things out of whack. I don't know where they're shooting the next Mission Impossible movie, but that's been temporarily shut down because of a COVID outbreak on set. Like just last week, I heard that. Tom Cruise is on that, of course. So things are still like a little bit up in the air, but I do feel like maybe things have certainly changed since the fall of 2020 to now in regards to producing Doctor Who. So whether that changes things or not, who knows?
The flip side also is going to be as they get practiced with COVID limitations or whatever. Like they're gonna get better and better at adhering to whatever limitations to make things more efficient or faster.
Yeah, we're used to this now, sadly. But we'll see. Anyway, that's the thing that's happening, though. So maybe we'll see the results of this Q&A at some point in the near future. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Things are happening. Speaking of things happening, Li Who back, time flight, Holiday Inn, Long Island, Islip Airport East. Passes are now on sale. Ken Deep posted that on Saturday, yesterday, us as we record this, they went on sale. They moved remarkably well. Ken was a little concerned, like maybe only a couple would move here or there, just because people are a little bit hesitant still. But no, a lot of passes moved. So LongIslandDoctorWho.com to get yours. That's happening November 20th, 21st. On Long Island. The return of Doctor Who conventions still seems weird, but we're getting there. Guest announcements will probably happen at some point in June as well. Of course, there's still travel restrictions and stuff, so it's kind of difficult to plan 5 months out now, but it's only 5 months away. But it's all happening, so very exciting. Also, Chicago TARDIS tomorrow, as we record this, Monday, June 14th, we'll start passes for sale as well. Now that the state of Illinois has entered phase 5 of its reopening plan. So event capacity has been approved. So, yep, conventions, folks. Get vaccinated so that we can still have them in the fall and stuff. Because, once we go back indoors when it gets cold in the fall again, it will be nice to breathe the same air and not have to worry about it, is what I mean to say.
I'm cosplaying as a child from Empty Child. Every single convention. No.
That's not bad. I just wear the gas mask.
It'll be just really embarrassing on stage for the live show. Just keep asking endlessly, are you my mummy?
Yeah.
We admire your commitment to the bit, Warren. Could you please stop?
Just ask us anything but, please. For the love of crap.
Are you my mummy?
Yeah. Also, speaking of things happening, yesterday, as we record this as well, the BFI had their first Doctor Who event in decades, it seems like, for the season 24 set. What'd you say, Chris? Russell Minton was there. I think Chris Chapman was there as well. I'm not sure if there's any...
Audience-wise, apparently it was fairly sparsely populated, which, distancing, so it makes sense.
Right. Like on purpose sparsely populated as well. Yeah. Because it still is indoors.
Saw a few pictures from friends who were there, and Russell Minton was there, but I gather Bonnie Langford was meant to be there, and because they were showing Dragonfire,
yes,
and couldn't make it for whatever reason. Same with Patricia Quinn. So there were some people who were supposed to be there and couldn't make it for varying reasons.
Mm-hmm. Fading into these sort of things. I imagine by the next BFI event for the next Blu-ray set, whatever that may be, will perhaps be at an even better time during this whole pandemic thing in the UK.
I respect anybody who doesn't want to go for their own damn reasons. So, we drove by a crowded patio, and I was like, I got one shot in me, and I'm still a little hesitant about that. Once I've got two shots in me, I'll be a little iffy about re-entering the world, I think.
It's going to be weird. I mean, Chris, you have the second shot. You are. Oh, well, you're not immune yet because it takes a couple weeks for it to sift through everything, but
no, I got my second one yesterday, and in a couple of weeks' time we'll see if my mentality changes or not. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't think it will.
I'm going to hold my breath.
I just don't. I don't trust humans. I don't.
No, I know.
I do like that. There's been a backlash, like say for instance Tim Cook, but take your pick of any company where they're like, we're going back to the office, and the employees are like, no, we ain't.
Yeah, I know that's a bit far away. I mean, it's September, but I know what you mean. Like, eventually people are going to go back to offices and stuff. It's like,
not me.
It's
working from home for the duration. Sounds good.
This is what I mean. Summer is good because it'll get us being used to crowds and being around people again a little bit more, and outside basically before we have to sort of think, oh right, we're going indoors again here, all right? Oh boy, it's gonna be weird. Mine's next this coming Friday. Actually, Eric and I have our second shots booked. So by Canada Day or the day after officially, it's be fully vaccinated. So.
Not me. I'm waiting.
No, you're waiting in there, but not much longer, I suspect.
I had mine on April 29th, so June 29th is when I'm eligible again. And so shortly after that, I'm supposed to get a hail fellow well met, get your second shot.
Right. We're mixing and matching. We got AstraZeneca first. Yeah, we are going to be superheroes. This is how we start. This is our origin story, Warren.
I got a survey asking me, and they said, "What would you do?" I'm like, "Give me anything. Bleach, light in the butt. I don't care. Just give it to me."
Yeah. Oh, it's exciting. Yeah. Vaccines, everyone. Vaccines. Get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. Your arm may hurt for a couple days after, but still, get vaccinated.
Who cares? Binge watch something and leave it at that.
Yeah. We also should mention that the season 24 Blu-ray has been delayed a week in the UK.
Don't binge watch that.
I don't think they've ever had a Blu-ray not be delayed by at least a week. Like, it always used to be a thing. To which we say boo-hoo, because we're getting it in September, early September here. No, September 21st, isn't it? Is that September 21st in this part of the world? I can't remember.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Which means another one will probably have been announced and will have just about been released by the time we get this one in North America. Another one will have come out in the UK, so just think about that. You get delayed a week, we get delayed for 3 months still, so boo-hoo to you. If you are in the UK though, and you are, as Warren says, looking for something to binge watch, perhaps while you recuperate from the slight side effects from a vaccine that you may or may not encounter, Class has returned to BBC iPlayer, available until next year. The original home of Class, if you will, depending on what you count, not BritBox, BBC Three at the time, because that's where it was sort of showing up. Because BBC, what is BBC Three? It's going back to a channel again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next year, yeah.
I forget when it's happened. We talked about it in the past, but yeah, it's going back to a broadcast channel.
Yeah. Which is interesting. Anyway, Class, all 8 episodes of Class is on there. The writer, Patrick Ness, is writing a new film version of Master and Commander, which is one of my favorite films from the early 2000s, directed by Peter Weir and starring Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany, Master and Commander's Far Side of the World. I love that movie. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be directed by Peter Weir, who I think just makes really good films, but Patrick Ness is writing that. He also wrote Class, just so you know. So, Class is on iPlayer. I should also mention, what a weird thing. Here's a weird thing. So, apparently this has been the case for the past few weeks, at least here in Canada. I don't know if it's the same on BritBox UK or BritBox in the States or Australia even. But for a while now, the Dominators has been missing from BritBox. Interesting, isn't it?
I can only assume that they found a better version of it. One that's got a better story than the actual Dominators.
That's the thing. We pulled it for content reasons. It's not very good.
Well, that's a slippery slope.
They decided to destroy. Total destruction.
Get it? So we destroy? They did. Anyway, I found this curious, so I messaged BritBox about this, and it took a couple days. Back in the early days of BritBox, they were really much more forthcoming with the trying to like sort of ingratiate themselves on people and stuff, and really build a brand a little bit. And then it's kind of fell off because that's usually what happens with social media and companies. It's like, let's just
Especially media companies.
Yeah, let's just have Braden from accounting run it. And so it took a couple days to get back. Like, I remember in the early days, like I signed up for like a Twitter alert because I wanted to know when BritBox Canada was going to come, because I wanted to vote with my dollars. I wanted to support this new service and stuff. And I was like bouncing DMs and stuff back and forth with them. Twas me, I believe, who suggested the Sandbaggers, because shortly after I suggested it, it arrived on BritBox.
Where's Blake 7? Didn't you suggest that too?
I did. This probably happened towards the tail end of them not caring. But I also, if you turn on BritBox, I believe the version of Day of the Daleks is the special edition version.
It is.
Because I messaged them when they first they put out like 6 new Dalek stories, because they didn't have the rights to some of the Dalek stories, and so they put them on. It was great fanfare. But the Day of the Daleks one the format was wrong. They stretched a 4:3 image to 16:9. I messaged this. Oh, it's gonna look bad. Can you maybe? Oh yes, we'll absolutely fix that right now. And when they did fix it, it was a special edition, which is properly formatted, but it's a special edition. So it's because of me that there is that on there, which I find odd. Anyway, back to
not a victory, not really a defeat.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is either. I messaged them and I says, listen, there's what's wrong with the Dominators and stuff. I don't understand what's going on. And here we go. It said they said, thank you for reaching out to BritBox. Please know that Doctor Who season 6 starts in episode 6 that premieres the Mind Robbers. I'm reading verbatim here. It's a little bit weird. Though the Dominators isn't available on BritBox at this time due to a licensing agreement. No worries, we'll share this with our content team so they can take a look at it and possibly arrange the licensing agreement so we can have available for streaming as well. As the moment we're unable to share a specific timeline of when that will be available. They also followed up. I just noticed this. I didn't realize that they actually replied to me. Because I say, oh great, I love BritBox and all that. Just sort of trying to grease the wheels a little bit here, and we have sent this to our content team to review to see if we can work on getting classic Doctor Who : the Dominators again. This feels very cut and paste. We do greatly appreciate your feedback. So there.
Do they have Web of Fear on there?
They do. They do have Web of Fear. They have Enemy of the World. They have Tomb of the Cybermen. They have
I'm trying to think, is it a rights thing with Hazeman and Lincoln?
That's what I'm thinking.
Or something?
That's what I'm thinking, because the Web of Fear is obviously them, but the Dominators, for those that don't know, was credited to Norman Ashby because of a disagreement between the writers, Henry Lincoln and Mervyn Haseman, about their episodes being curtailed from 6 to 5, essentially. And I think there was some disagreement with the merchandising or potential merchandising of the Quarks, which is funny. They thought they had the new Daleks on their hands. They did not.
God. Okay.
So I don't know. It might be that. Is it Henry Lincoln is still with us? Mervyn Haseman died a few years ago.
Haseman died a decade ago.
Yeah. Is there a rights issue with the Quarks? Have the Quarks somehow thrown a wrench into things here when it comes to Doctor Who and rights issues? This is the one. This is the hill that people are going to die on now. The Quarks and the Dominators. Who knows? Anyway, keep checking BritBox, folks, and we'll see what happens over the course of this. What'd you find there, Chris? Sounds like
Henry Lincoln is the last living person to have written Doctor Who in the 1960s.
Isn't that tragic? Yeah.
I'm curious if the Blake Seven situation, most of it created in my head, is a Terry Nation jam too. It's like that they have to really deal with a lot of Terry Nation estate nonsense, which has traditionally been a thing.
Yeah, hence those Dalek episodes showing up much later. I don't know that or Survivors. Neither of those are on BitBox.
Yeah, Survivors, the old Survivors, would be great to have on there.
Yeah, it's such an uplifting story about growing potatoes and stuff. Yes. Yeah,
of its time and ours.
Very much. Listen, anything archive BBC. If it's multicam, put it on there. Put it. I will watch it. I will watch it. Multicam. I was disappointed to find out. I remember when. I was delighted when I saw the Sandbaggers, which is not BBC. I realized, but Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy was a series from the late 70s starring Alec Guinness. 7 episodes.
It's on there? I didn't know that.
It's on. No, it's not on there. It was on BBC iPlayer. Actually showed it, and I remember seeing people tweet about it. I remember seeing a clip of it and going, "Okay, they start on location on film." Thinking, "Oh, the whole thing's on film." I was disappointed.
That is always I would find that too. Back in the day, I'd be like, "Oh, it's all film." Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, "Why?"
Like Lovejoy. Oh, this is all film. Why bother?
I know. I was like, "Where's the multi?" I wanted part of the appeal of wanting to watch Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is to see Alec Guinness post Star Wars in a multicam studio.
I have seen him. I can't remember. It was a play of the day that our friend Simon Harris showed me, and on pristine 1-inch videotape. It looked amazing. I'm like, how does this look so good? It's SD from the 70s, but it looked great.
I feel like our friend Simon Harris probably has a 1-inch machine in his flat somewhere, and it's just like
probably in the basement somewhere.
Fires them up.
I don't think he has a basement, but somehow he does.
Yeah, every British person has a basement.
Well, it's like that holographic wall in The Visitation. He's got one of those.
Some people have a Shades of Grey room. He's got a 1-inch tape room.
I mean, it's the same thing, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, if we find out more about the Dominators Gate, Quark Gate, I don't know what we're going to call this controversy. We'll let you know. It'll be like when we check Amazon for the newest Doctor Who Blu-ray release or something like that. We'll just check those every day. Well, I'll check BritBox every day to see if
countdown to disappointment.
The Dominators is on there. When you can finally have the Dominators back in your rightful possession on BritBox, but no. So there we go. That's the Dominators update, folks. Let's move over to one thing of Big Finish. Missy is meddling once again. Everyone due for release in September of 2021. Missy and the Monk team up with Rufus Hound's Meddling Monk. Of course, he's been the Meddling Monk on a few Big Finishes now. That's a new series coming in September of 2021. I love the Big Finish, often sends out with the press release. They send out some images and stuff. Obviously, since most of these now have been recorded remotely and stuff, they don't have a lot of publicity images to share. But the one they did was like a Michelle Gomez,
it's a great picture.
Being Michelle Gomez in her basement or something like that. It's
like she's in like some side room or something recording, and it's just looking very harried, I guess.
Oh, what a delightful eccentric Michelle Gomez is. She really is.
Yeah. She was doing the bug eyes. That's the best part of the picture.
Yeah. Perhaps Jack Davenport took that picture. Who knows? So that's coming out September of 2021. Hey, do you play? I literally have played this game once. It's kind of like a matching game, Funko Pop Blitz mobile game.
That phrase has no meaning to me.
Chris, have you played this game, Funko Pop Blitz, at all? There's a Doctor Who element in it. No?
Yeah, I have not.
Okay. Well,
there's no way I'm playing Funko Pop Blitz. I'm not even saying that more than once.
It's like a matching game, but I was sort of playing it like I was just hoping and assuming that there'd be some Doctor Who stuff like right off the bat, but there weren't, so I put it away. But there are new as of Thursday, June 17th, this week. There's going to be 5 new Doctor Who characters for you to collect in this mobile game. That being River Song, 12th Doctor PCAP with the glove and the spoon from Robot of Sherwood, Sarah Jane Smith with the Andy Pandy overalls from Hand of Fear, a Cyberman, and Matt Smith's Doctor with handles.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So you can get a digital
or
digital handles
with Cyberhead as described in the release.
Well, they're wrong handles.
Yeah, it's handles. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not as up on the Funko Pops, like the actual physical Funko Pops, as much as I am on the action dollies. But has an actual Funko Pop with handles come out? Do you know?
I have no idea.
No,
I don't know.
I have several of them, all but one Doctor Who. But
which Doctor Who do you not have?
No. I have War Doctor, Capaldi, Missy, Jodie. Tom Baker, and I also have Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, but those are the only Funko Pops I have at Hall.
Ah, okay. I never collected. Chris, weren't you a collector of Funko Pops? Wasn't that a thing you were doing?
No.
Oh.
I know. I've got a few, but I'm hardly a collector.
Exactly. Like it's a fever that I can't countenance. Although I did want the Aloy one because it's pretty cool.
Doctor-wise, we've got Capaldi and Whittaker in the like the sonic screwdriver welding outfit thing.
Oh, fun. Oh, the goggles.
That's a better
and stuff.
one. I just have the regular Whittaker.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't. If you can tweet at us if there's an actual 11th Doctor and handles actual Funko Pop, folks.
It's important info, people.
Twitter. I need to know that because Warren,
delay your vaccination. Tell us.
Yes, you're a handlesist, Warren. I just want to.
I am a Handelsian.
Funko Pop number 235, 11th Doctor.
Right.
Funko 2015 Summer Convention exclusive, it says, with the little handles.
Handles.
Right now,
so it's a
right
thing.
Now going on Amazon for $220.
That's fine. No one's been going on vacations. You can all afford that. You get vacation money there. Do it. Buy it for Warren. Send him many of them. Don't send him anything.
Peppered with Funko Pops. Great.
Yeah. The address to Warren's box office is or PO box is buried within the. It's not at all. Do not mail him.
It is not. It will never be.
No, there's no such place as Vancouver. No one's ever known that.
Doesn't exist.
Warren's been giving a fake destination for years on this podcast.
Yeah. I live in a basement eating cold beans out of a can. Nobody, don't tell me how to live.
That's not a bad. I haven't had cold beans out of a can in a long time, and sometimes I kind of cherish that a little bit.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Really? Oh, well, I do heat them up a little bit, but baked beans in a can. Speaking of merchandise, hey, the Doctor Who 2022 annual is coming in September because this is what happens. Lego Advent calendars come out in September. Annuals for the next year come out as well. The Doctor Who annual 2022, September 2nd of this year, it's coming out. The cover features no current or any Doctor Who. It's just the TARDIS and some stuff. It's a nice cover and stuff, but people were sort of saying, why isn't there Jodie Whittaker on the cover of this Doctor Who official publication? Is it because A, she's leaving the show, which people are speculating because, it's 3 years and that seems to be the standard lifespan of a television doctor, or B, do they not like Jodie Whittaker as Doctor Who? So,
oh, God.
Yeah. These are the things I know.
You sound like a Dalek when you yell that out.
I do a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, you can pre-order it though. That's the cover. That is the final cover because I saw the person who actually designed the cover tweet about it. So that is the proper actual cover of the annual. So it's not going to be changed or anything, but interesting indeed. And lastly, hey, this is a good segue into our commentary for the Torchwood Revisited series that we're doing.
It's a segue. I wouldn't say it's a good one.
No. The Titan Comics had a Jack Harkness story planned for sometime in 2021. They'd only sort of planned it as something called Doctor Who 2021 event, featuring the character of Captain Jack Harkness. It's no longer on the cards because of the stuff that John Barrowman did on set in 2008, and which he apologized for and was reprimanded for, and apparently hasn't actually happened since 2008. Still paying for it here in 2021.
And this comic was supposed to play into season 13 or series 13 as well.
Interesting.
So the question has been raised: was Barrowman meant to be in series 13 and has now been pulled, or are the two events is this unrelated to anything else that has to do with series 13 or like? So I mean, I don't know that we're ever going to know, but yeah, episode 2 of series 13 was supposed to tie into this comic.
Interesting. Yes.
I have nothing to say, so I'm going to say
That's what we usually say when we're saying something without saying something, but So there. That's it. That's it for our news. Folks, after the very short break, our penultimate Torchwood Revisited, it's for Captain Jack Harkness. Welcome back to the penultimate commentary for Torchwood Series 1, Episode 12, Captain Jack Harkness. The good one, the Hugo-nominated one. I think this was a finalist back in 2008 when they hand out awards for these things.
Like I said, I remember liking it quite a bit, but was that because of the previous 11 weeks or not?
I think you've been talking about this one over the past few weeks of this commentary, Series 1.
I have, but that doesn't mean I won't be disappointed. Or maybe I won't be. I don't know.
Or maybe we won't find, as we've discovered, we don't actually know what's going on in these episodes because we're talking over them. So it's up to Chris to tell us what's happening in them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after last week and enjoying combat a heck of a lot more than I remember enjoying it back in the day, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to expect from this one because Out of Time I adored then, and I adored when we did it 2 weeks ago. So I'm curious to see what this one brings.
Me too.
I honestly think my favorite thing about combat is Dirk Squarejaw, the name.
That's a good guy. Yeah, he's good.
I was just impressed with the amount of umbrage you guys took at the swearing.
It's a lot of I know. Well, listen, I have used this pandemic to gather a lot of pearl necklaces, and I am clutching those pearls.
All of them once.
All of them.
You look like Mr. T of pearls.
Offended by everything. We're going to stop you right there. I know what I said, Chris. I know what I said. And we're going to stop
Colin Baker's Crocs. There you go.
We're going to stop it right there. And we're just going to get on with this thing. We're getting on this thing. We're going to watch Captain Jack Harkness on our legally purchased non-fungible tokens and Blu-ray devices. And only those two items. Here we go, everyone. Torchwood Series 1, Episode 12, Captain Jack Harkness. In 3, 2, 1, play. Let me get the recap.
Ode to Vidfire, that's what I call this bit.
Ode to Vidfire. It is very Vidfiery, which makes it feel right and proper. I don't know why I'm such a... I mean, really, only, Doctor Who in 1986 becomes regularly shot on videotape on location and stuff. And everyone thought it looked cheap. And growing up, watching The Littlest Hobo, I thought that was cheap because that was shot on videotape too and on location.
But Canadian stuff shot on film also looked cheap.
That's the thing.
They all had the same... I think there was one lab in Toronto, and it used only this one kind of 16 mil film because everything you could peg it and go, that's Canadian.
Vote Saxon. I forgot about that. That's right.
Nicely done, Torchwood.
This aired on New Year's Day.
Yeah, double header.
One week after Runaway Bride, which was the first mention of Saxon.
That's right. Look at that. That's some thinking ahead there, and that's some prominent positioning there too of these things that no one knew what
they just did there.
Yeah,
there was a lot of that back in the day. There's this whole era. I remember in-betweeners had nothing but little jump-ins that would drive me crazy watching it.
Yeah.
Does that grow bigger every week? His earpiece?
It looks big. Yes. Maybe it's just the blue light is more prominent because it's
part of his ear.
Yeah. Can we admire the fact that Tosh is outside of the Torchwood headquarters for like the first time in 5 weeks here?
Well, fancily dressed and they're in like a Kubrickian building.
Yeah, we've seen that hall. I believe doubled as the school gymnasium in The Caretaker. Look, the stage looked very familiar. I could be wrong about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same.
This looks a lot smaller than that room.
It was small. You go back and watch. It was small. I very well could be wrong. I mean, that's just I haven't seen The Caretaker.
This makes me think of the room they lock Hitler in a closet in. I'm sure it isn't, but
lock who in a closet?
Hitler when
in the
River
Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that Bad Wolf?
Bad Wolf there too. What just happened here? What? They can't go back in time. Graffito tagged. I don't know what the conceit is in this. I totally missed why they're here. I totally missed.
People were complaining about this hall that had been empty since 1989. People heard 1940s dance music.
It's a simple temple shift. Okay, there we go. I thought I missed the explanation, but instead, it's happening before our eyes. So this is probably going to be
okay. This is Wales. As a Japanese individual, should Tosh be worried?
Did the UK have internment camps? There's that guy, Bill Spanker.
No,
or was this before Pearl Harbor? When was this? Okay, I can't remember if this was set before or after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. I honestly
but I'm
willing
to bet xenophobia in Britain in its 30s and or 40s. So it's kind of not great as is, regardless of whether America was in the war yet.
There you go.
Oh, 41.
January 20th, 1941.
Yeah, so we're almost a year away.
Yeah. Long time away.
And like I said, I don't know. I know Canada had internment camps. I know the States obviously did. I don't know where else in the world had internment camps. These awful places.
Yeah, I don't know enough to actually say one way or the other definitively.
I do remember as a child in social studies or whatever actually being taught about the Japanese internment camps.
Yeah, same here.
It wasn't something that was glossed over or ignored.
Well, it probably would be if the latest Alberta teaching curriculum went
would be willing to bet, though, part of the reason we didn't get it glossed over is because David Suzuki was the one talking about it when we were kids.
Ooh, Ashley Way.
Maybe.
Since he was in the internment camps as a kid.
Yeah. When George Takei or when you later in life learn that George Takei was even in one.
Yeah, which is just nuts. People are still alive wearing these things. This is crazy.
I know. This is a street that we've probably seen. I bet you probably saw that street in Crimson Ore, I bet, dressed up. There's got to be a location guide for all the locations. Why isn't there really? There should be, like on the internet, or on your computer. You should be able to type in here's a street in Cardiff. It was used for this location, this location, this location.
Well, and not just for Doctor Who or Torchwood.
I don't think Google Maps is going to tell you that, but I'm sure other resources will.
Yeah, they better. I'd like to know these things.
Actually, that's the kind of thing, IMDb tracks things like filming locations and whatnot. That'd be a good thing for them to add.
Mm-hmm. Do they really actual?
Well, IMDb are not known for their accuracy, so maybe not.
No. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's a line from Tosh. Yeah, I'm the only Asian here. But Japan hasn't. Well, they haven't made their presence known to various Western countries. They're still slaughtering the Chinese from 1935 onwards. Some might consider the actual start of World War II, the Manchurian invasion. I've watched a few World War II documentaries, I guess, but obviously not enough about internment camps.
Nope. You have failed once again.
I've been meaning to watch the World at War, the 1973 one. Again, I watched it once, but it was quite a few years ago now. Laurence Olivier narrated that. That's not Laurence Olivier.
World War II in color is not bad either. I think it might still be on Netflix.
I always watch that. I literally have watched that several times over.
It is really good.
Usually when I watch it is when, in the past few years, is, when things were looking really bad, be it down in the United States or COVID, and thinking, well, let's watch a documentary series about when things were possibly the worst in recent memory to make me feel slightly better about the current situation. So, yeah, I watched that series about 4 or 5 times in the past couple of years.
Well, if you haven't seen They Will Not Grow Old, the Peter Jackson doc, you should. It's excellent.
I have yet to. We've talked about it on this podcast several times, but
just from a vidfire perspective, because that's what he literally does. He interpolates frames so it looks like you're watching videotape, which in this case is great because it looks like kind of news footage almost of World War One. And he finds people who are from the same unit, who have the same accents, and then he lip syncs it, and the colorization is excellent. Like it's a technical achievement if nothing else.
I never thought about the lip sync aspect of it, but yeah, of course you would have to because it's all silent film back in those days.
Yeah, they lip read, and then they put in voices that are from the region, so it's as accurate as they can get. Oh, there's another 2000s camera move.
Yeah, there's the right way, and there's Ashley Way. I'm not dumping on his. I'm not dumping on it. It was there. It was there.
This is a thing that was just always there.
I was making a joke. I have nothing wrong to say about Ashley Way.
I mean, they kind of do the same thing in 11th Hour, right? With the whole thing, and it makes sense. They're zipping around, and he's kind of Doctor Perception, and it kind of works. But it was very much a thing of the time as well.
The 11th Hour, all of what 3 years after this. Because that's when it was. Oh, he's handsome. Look at him. Mm-hmm. He's a handsome young man. He's also got a square jaw. There's a lot of square jaws in Wales in 2006.
He's possibly more handsome than Jack. This could be a problem.
I think he probably is. No wonder he was.
Like a Henry Cavill kind of look about him.
It does kind of, yeah. You can totally see the CG'd mustache off him, too.
Yeah, his mother was named Martha.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I've seen that guy, the smug guy who tried to get in a fight there. I've seen him before.
Two things. Before Justice League came out and that whole mustache controversy happened, some VFX artist created a trailer called Mustache League where he just added mustaches to every character. It was fantastic.
Wow. So the guy who took
Wonder Woman was the best one.
I just want to point out, Warren, you mentioned Kubrick earlier in this podcast commentary.
I did.
The guy there who plays Billis Manger.
See the picture.
That guy was in Barry Lyndon at the very least. I think he's been in other Kubrick films too.
Oh, speaking of that, I have Vancouver trivia. There's a guy called Glenn Beck who's a friend of a friend's older grandmother, and he was in 2 Kubrick films, and he lives in Cranbrook, British Columbia now.
Really? Two films?
He was in 2001, and he was in Doctor Strangelove. And I think he was like some sort of military guy in the background for each of them.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's only so many people he could be in 2001.
Yeah. James Hart. That's not your real name. My real name is Captain Armin Tamzarian. That's what my name is.
Mine's Army Hammer. Oh, never mind.
I am glad that Tosh is here for this.
Jack's got some splaining to do.
All right, fine. My real name is the face of Bo. What do you want from me?
I know too much. That's what you always say.
I walk in eternity.
Like Guinan.
Just like Guinan, who better return to Picard season 2.
Oh, yeah, why the hell isn't she there? I mean, Q's announced. Spoilers from 3 months ago when we were recording this, but I've been watching TNG as of late. I'm into season 4 now. It's good stuff.
Thanks for that news flash on TNG being good.
Well, I haven't watched it in 20 years, and I'm thinking, this is still, it's actually really good. So,
some of it is. Some of it doesn't. A little 80s, but
Michael Piller. I tell you, Michael Piller shows up as showrunner, and it's night and day. Early, like literally 3 or 4 episodes into season 3, and it's like, oh, this is when Piller's in. Yeah, it's much better now. Instantly much better.
This is cool. Like you don't have to have any special effect, and it still makes it cool and mysterious that they're.
I think that's what makes it. What makes it even more cool. Just looking in, it's not there, and visual effects would diminish it because then it would sort of think, something is happening. Right now, you're thinking, well, is it in Tosh's mind? Is it, it's ambiguous.
It also shows a lack of confidence on the filmmaker's part if you have to throw in special effects to over-explain it.
Yeah. Too much visual effects. Lucas? Yeah, too many visual effects can sully.
He clearly did not.
No.
But we have to bring, apparently the new breed of idiot fan, unlike the old breed of idiot fan, unlike the first breed of idiot fan, which would be us, thinks George Lucas should get the stories given back to him because the current crop have ruined it so much with all their wokeness and so forth. They don't remember everybody complaining about George Lucas ruining their childhood, and I'm saying ruining and not the worst thing they said. Make up your damn mind, nerds. Or, better yet, take a bath and go home.
Mm-hmm. The important thing, though, is to charge your computer before going on an away mission.
I'm assuming she doesn't have the charger, but I don't know if the main sockets were the same in 1941.
Well, like I said, charge it before. Bring a battery pack. I don't know if that works in 2006 laptops, but
not the way it would now.
So this cat here, Bill Spanger, who was played by a guy, I can't remember the actor's name, but as I said, he was in Barry Lyndon at the very least, and he disappears mysteriously at the end of this two-parter, and I don't remember anything beyond. But he never returns until Big Finish. He's back in Big Finish now. This cat right here.
To this day, he's still cheap Peter Cushing to me.
They should have got him. They should have got him to play Tarkin in that Star Wars movie.
Yeah, why the hell not?
CG
That's the
robot.
thing. Like I've said this before. I give them all the points in the world for trying, but you could have just had some other guy, and I would have been fine with it.
I don't know. Or you just, boy, I don't know if
they
you
did that
can.
in Revenge of the Sith. Okay, the guy didn't talk, but still.
Revenge of this. Oh yeah, that just a brief little cutaway. That's right.
Uh-oh.
I'm the new caretaker, just like Doctor Who. This doesn't make any sense. Is he the master? Is that what happens with this guy?
Yes, like everything else that's new.
Oh, there we go.
Something old.
Pearl Harbor, yeah. Oh, there we go. Tosh is giving us a history lesson here.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed in London.
That's my favorite thing about angry fans, by the way. How they always get mad and come up with things that have already happened, and never just go, "Hey, you know what? What might happen on this TV show? They might just do something new, like TV shows do all the time."
Mm-hmm. Well, under cover of the night.
Under cover of the bed sheets.
Yeah. He reminds me so. Yeah, tell us your real name, Jack. It's Keith something.
By the way, that bit of slow-mo there, I'm willing to bet that wasn't actually anything they shot on purpose. I bet you that was just him smoking between takes, and they happened to have it.
We need a close-up.
Yep, that was an insert that they grabbed off of a rehearsal.
Hey, this and almost all of Steven Berkoff's performance in The Power of Three was stuff
That's
where
true.
they shot in between takes. The camera
I've
still
done that
rolling.
too.
Yeah,
I was doing a thing about an E3 from years back on Electric
Okay.
Playground, and I didn't have a shot, so I took a shot where the camera guy panned down from the stage and had reversed it, so he panned up, so it was a big dramatic reveal.
Oh yeah.
And it's like the kind of thing that only another editor would be like, "Oh, I see what you did there."
Somewhat famously, the shot of the Tusken Raider shaking his gaffy stick above Luke was just like literally like 8 frames of footage rocked back and forth because that's all I had. Should we have kept filming, George? Maybe. Can you fix that in editing? Like the
It's
rest
hot.
of my
I want to go
film?
home. But George, you
Yeah.
brought us out here. Meh. He kind of reminds me of the guy in, I can't remember the name of it, the Haunted House Bill story.
Haunted House Story. No, I don't
Bill,
know.
Wooden People, College.
Oh,
roommates.
not David Suchet, not him.
A little bit.
The actor or the character?
The actor.
Oh, I don't know. I don't note the resemblance. I don't know about you, Chris, but
resemblance for
David Suchet. Warren thinks that
no,
David
not so
Suchet. No, he's much thinner. He's more
They're
gaunt.
both old and creepy, so there you go.
Oh. This guy here, this cat right here, it looks familiar, and I don't know who it is.
I think Captain Jack Harkness is wearing mascara.
Well, why is this a surprise?
Which Captain Jack Harkness?
The real.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. I don't know. No, I think it's lighting.
His look really dark.
I think it's lighting because our Jack looked like he had something on there too.
You are barking up the wrong tree, lady.
Yeah, well, maybe he's not. I don't know. I gotta find out where I've seen that guy. I gotta find out where I've seen that guy from now. It would help if I knew what his character name was, and I don't. So there. The cat who is playing the eponymous Captain Jack Harkness, oddly enough, was in Rogue One. He is an American. He's an American, actually.
Who was in Rogue One?
He played Corporal Rostock. I bet he's probably seen like for 3 seconds in an X-wing or something like that.
Or he's in Yavin somewhere.
Yeah. Hasn't had much of a film career, actually, having a look at all this, but don't know what to say about that, but oh, where's a cravat? There's another slow-mo shot. Is that intentional? It's not, because you can always tell when HD video is shot super slow-mo. It just looks like you've shuttled it down to 50% or something like that on playback. Yeah. What's the deal with that? There's some weird shots like when in Lord of the Rings when like Frodo is wrestling with a ring and stuff. And it's like
I think that's intentional, though.
Yeah, I know, but it looks weird.
I don't particularly like that style of shooting stuff, but I think that's intentional.
Yeah, it was meant to sort of be, weird and different.
It never works for me. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means it doesn't work for me.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. That guy there, who is he? What's his name? Is that Tim? Is his name Tim? Because there's a character named Tim.
Here you go. Here's some racism for you.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
Now look here, Karen of the 40s.
I don't know what the status was in Japanese English relations in 1941 because they weren't. I don't know if they're fighting each other at the point. No, maybe they were because they were probably fighting in Burma at that time, weren't they? Now known as Myanmar.
Now you're gonna kick me in the face for this, but this guy looks like a Captain America-fied Paul Cornell. Tell me I'm wrong.
I kind of see it. Yeah, I got to see it. Like yeah. Although they Captain America-fied, what's his name? Chris Evans, didn't they? To make him look meek in the early parts of that movie.
And it's kind of crazy to look at.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
I mean, it works, but
does it though? It probably does.
Well, the other thing is, I had no idea who Chris Evans was. So when he went from like this little nerd to Captain America, I just went, huh? What? Because I really wasn't familiar with the guy up to seeing the movie.
On the topic of visual effects and stuff, it's weird, and I don't. I feel like a hypocrite when I say that, Tarkin and Leia and Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian look dumb. How dare you do stupid trying things like that? But then, like, I will watch something from 1972, and if like there happens to be like a passable bit of color separation overlay, they're going, "Oh my god, well done, well
I don't think
done."
There's anything hypocritical about that at all.
I feel bad about it. Maybe it's just because like we're just trying to like hey, we're on a different planet, So that's what we're trying to sort of sell right here. Hey, I just got miniaturized and now I'm walking around.
My take on it is I love both ends of this. I love seeing super high-end stuff that they've done insane things to accomplish. And I love seeing just bashed together nonsense that they put together a string and crossed fingers. Like both those are great as far as I'm concerned. It depends on what it's for. Like the movie Manborg, which was made for literally $1,000 in a Winnipeg basement. Like it looks like hell, but that's what's so great about it.
It is the biggest budget film ever made in Winnipeg, though, to be
probably
fair.
Not true. Guy Madden would probably disagree with you on that one.
Thank you. Thank you for taking me literally. Ooh. Yeah, we're also getting a rare Owen and Yanto.
And a reference back to the Cyberwoman.
I know. We all try to forget about that. Clearly Yanto did, too.
These guys clearly haven't.
Ooh.
Come on, dude. You got to get the Jack train pretty soon.
Yeah, are they going to have a dust? Yeah, when does that happen? I don't remember when that happens. Chris, fill us in. When does it happen? When do Yanto and Jack get together? I thought it happened like this season, but maybe not.
Next season, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like allusions to them.
Well, they make out in the Cyberwoman
casually
episode,
doing this and that,
which was baffling given the circumstances of the Cyberwoman episode.
Yeah, and like nothing has really happened since. Yeah, maybe I have no idea what these two are doing, what they're up to. They just seem to be.
The producers were focusing more on the whole Gwen Owen thing.
I feel like there's. Listen, I watched all of Breaking Bad, and for the most part, liked it. But there was one episode which I literally quit 20 minutes in, knowing that it was going to be nothing. It's that Fly episode where they basically hover, they
which
run
is
around.
Widely praised.
It's terrible. I hated it. I think
it's very polarizing because I've heard other people say that they hated it too, but I've also heard people. I liked it. I thought it was kind of interesting.
I feel like Gwen. I feel like Yanto and Owen are basically in the Fly episode right now.
The Fly one, in a way, is kind of like what Family Guy does.
I'm waiting to hear this.
Like Brian and Stewie.
Family Guy is like Seth MacFarlane and Family Guy. He's probably on record about this, but anyway, he's like, I'm going to take Fox's money, and I'm just going to waste it. Hence things like 4-minute fights between Peter and the chicken.
Listen, right. I have my issues with Seth MacFarlane's brand of humor, etc., but I will praise him to the sky for shoving down the throat of Fox on primetime television, Neil deGrasse Tyson doing Cosmos, which I don't like as much as the original Cosmos, but the fact that he pulled off, here's some science, watch it or else, is
on Fox.
Beautiful. Well done, MacFarlane.
Fox, as you say, on primetime Sunday night. Yeah.
Now, Fox is different than Fox News. They're not the same thing.
Very true.
But it is pretty nice that he actually pulled that off. Like, nobody on any channel. Like, that's just baffling that he pulled that off. Even on PBS, that'd be a bit iffy.
Love or hate the Fly episode of Breaking Bad. There's some really cool photography and camera work.
It's Rian Johnson, so.
Oh, did he do that one? Really?
He did.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I don't know if I
crap.
I think I might be wrong about this, but I'll check.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sure he did that one.
So that's like a murder mystery, a Star War, and that episode. All three I hate with an unbridled passion.
You hate Last Jedi. Well, you and I cannot be friends.
Just trolling you, Warren. Come on.
I know.
Yeah, nobody jumped to defend Knives Out, I noticed, but all right.
I don't care.
I like Knives Out just fine. I don't love it to the skies like most of the internet, but I liked it just fine.
I know, me too.
Yeah, he did do it. He did do the Fly one.
It's a passable. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see in Knives Out what other people saw, I guess.
I didn't either.
I liked it. It's funny, but
I don't like Daniel Craig.
Oh, really? I didn't mind it.
I thought he was one of the best parts of it, actually. All the acting is great. It's all quite... if you like Broadway, you'll like it, is the general conclusion I've come to.
I have not seen Our Friends in the North, so
I haven't either. I keep wanting to. I know it's there on BritBox. Just sitting there.
And I'm not criticizing Knives Out. I didn't mind Knives Out. I just don't understand what the hullabaloo is.
No.
Yeah.
I think I saw it after the hullabaloo, like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks after it opened. I said, well, okay, here we go. Be prepared to be amazed. And both Eric and I were just like,
But Netflix giving him almost $500 million.
Oh God, they're just desperate for some sort of like property, like some existing property that they could bank on. Like everyone hates our series. They go and they come and go in a weekend.
Mark Millar. I can't remember what it's called. Jupiter something or other. Jupiter's Legacy.
Ascending?
And they're like, will this be our Umbrella Academy? I'm like, Umbrella Academy? Is that a big deal?
Yeah. Is it really?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Everyone watched it the first weekend and never talked about it afterwards. I don't know what you're talking about. And now no one ever talks about what's happening in this episode. Speaking of not...
Pay the damn hell attention.
We're talking about stuff.
It's a fine tradition of just wasting everyone's time talking about not.
It's all a build up to hot Jack on Jack action. Come on.
Which, to be fair, I remember being quite well done.
It was tastefully done, as I recall. There was a kiss at the end on the dance floor.
It's not out of nowhere. It feels like it feels earned, I guess, if that's the way to put it.
Because he dies probably at the end of this, right? Is
that the old Bill and Ted trick?
I don't remember.
Kind of. Except she does it in the before time. they do it after.
I have yet to see Bill and Ted Face the Music, even though it's on proper, non-paying of much money streaming now.
It's
Prime now, yeah.
It's enjoyable enough. For something that came 30 years later, it's definitely enjoyable enough.
Gwen has an H monogrammed on the back of her coat, and I don't know what it stands for.
It's a hologram.
Hieronymus. Yes, that's right. She's Arnold Rimmer's mum. Why'd that be a hologram? I have no idea.
It's hilarious. Oh, that was a weird flashy cut thing. That was kind of strange. What is this? This is nonsense. We don't do this anymore. All these
that's
weird,
definitely
these weird
like
white flashes.
They would do. They still do this on trailers sometimes. They've stopped doing it as much, but they'll have the thing where you have a bunch of flashes of black and a bunch, and I've heard that referred to as avid farts. And also the "wah" as farting French horns.
Is that like every Alien and every movie post 2005, basically? Like,
yeah, you also have to throw in some popular song, but made in a weird sort of slow way. And
naturally, yeah. I've been thinking of recording one of those, actually. I'm thinking of doing "We Built the City" by Just Starship as a slow piano.
All right, well, I'll try to come up with some sort of suitable footage to put, suitably inappropriate footage to put.
Name one. Cruella. I don't know, some other movie based on a popular comic book favorite that now just focuses on the one evil character to find out how that person became evil, and it'll just be the first name of that person, like Lex.
I mean, to be fair, stuff like Wicked did that 20 odd years ago or more.
Well, then we could have stopped doing it. I don't know.
That's also true. Yes.
Just an idea.
I heard Maleficent. I can't say it. The one with Angelina Jolie. Thank you.
I don't know. I heard the
decent
second one.
From what I've heard.
I actually saw it, and I don't know if that's the right thing to say about it.
I haven't either.
Yeah. Billis. That's the Torchwood one. Just Billis. We built this city.
One thing I am glad trailers don't do as much anymore, those that I watch, is give up everything. For a while there, in the mid 2000s and early 2010s, every trailer basically just gave you the whole story.
Oh, it's not just cool, safe. It was that show Russian Doll. I watched the trailer of Russian Doll, and as I'm watching it, I'm going, okay, this is the whole show. I'm watching the whole show, and at the end of the trailer, it's like spoilers. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who. But basically,
I have not seen it.
It's a big thing that happens, and I'm going, oh, that's the thing that happens, and I probably am not that surprised. And then I started watching the show, and eventually, I just like I already know what's going to happen. When are they going to get to it? It didn't happen until like halfway through the season. It was just like, really, you're gonna show us everything in the trailer and said, well, try and act surprised.
Here's where I have to praise Marvel. Marvel does not do that with their trailers. They kind of bring it back to the old school way of doing things. Although I would really like to hear some "In a World."
I know. Has that come back around yet?
Nope.
In a World.
John McClane is a New York cop out in California.
But is that actual chocolate or is it grease or what is it? Ew, is it blood? Is she cutting herself? What's happening?
Maybe.
Because she needs to write down more of the formula. Pencil will fade.
Oh, man.
She's using something more indelible.
Oh, that's dark.
The greatest single moment ever of narration is Terminator 2. This time he's back for good.
I get it. I get it.
That's so good. The trailers are awesome. The movie is awesome.
Well.
One of the greatest action films ever made.
I only saw it for the first time like in the past year and a half or so.
And you probably hate it because you hate everything good.
It's all right. It's fascinating actually going back to watch the thing that started the trend that everything else copied.
Yes.
It kind of tainted my opinion of The Matrix, which I saw long after the fact.
I was like that with Halloween. After seeing Halloween, which is a good movie, in fact, a great movie, but everybody else has ripped it off. So you're like, oh, I see where everybody got everything from, including John Carpenter himself, who's ripped himself off numerous times.
Clocks, cuckoo clocks, quartz clocks.
For a second there, I thought his watch was an Apple Watch because the watch face was very similar to the one I have.
Time travel. Could be. I steal sex gas and Apple Watch Series 3 from the Torchwood Vault. This is funny because now that we know what's going on here, it's Eve Miles on her one day off from shooting random shoes, basically shooting what we're watching now. Because they shot that at the same time. That one was double banked with this. Important insight and info. He does have some high cheekbones. That is a square jaw.
I'd just like to inform you about my new novel, The Witches of Litchford. That is a very niche joke. Basically, it's aimed at Paul, on the off chance he listens to this.
Don't know if he goes to the it's just basically like a muscled up version. Like, here's your template when you're creating a character in a video game. It's okay, well, get those cheekbones going up. Let's get those cheekbones. Max out the cheekbones.
Just make sure Bethesda's not in charge of that, because everything Bethesda touches is ugly as sin.
They're owned by Xbox now. Unless that sale goes... No,
they have great games, but their character creation is...
Oh, it's a bad news?
Well, they let you do anything, and so mistakes happen.
Let the dancing continue. Let's listen to that weird guy. Everyone dance, damn it. Oh. In the van, you say? Well...
I don't understand why they're capping on Captain Jack and this dude when you've got the guy from Are You Being Served right there in front of you going, let the dancing begin.
Mr. Humphreys is is Billis Manger.
Yeah,
is it Manger or Manger? Manger? Manger. Away
Manger
in
General.
A manger. Yeah.
He is the model of a modern Manger General.
I'm just saying his flamboyance is much higher than either Jack or Jack's.
I suppose so. Very much belonging in a Stanley Kubrick film.
That's true.
Yeah. I like episodes that do this, that have things happening in two different time periods. It's very modern undead.
I was going to say Blink, but okay.
Yep. No, Modern Undead works.
They were first. Modern Undead was first. Underrated story.
And if it's first, it's therefore better.
Have we done a Modern Undead commentary? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Good. Still out there.
I will look.
In fact, I haven't watched it in forever.
Oh, I've watched it a few times. It's great. Just love it.
And that's the reason I have BritBox,
awesome.
so I can just grab whatever old Doctor Who I want.
It's right there, Warren. It's right there. You know what? Sometimes you just throw it on in the background because that's how I experienced Doctor Who through most of my teenage years.
I've done that before. I have done that.
Yeah.
I did that with the Armageddon Factor a while back when I was making a bunch of Instant Pot food. It goes remarkably well with cooking.
It's great. It's just Doctor Who's background noise.
We have not done Modern Undead or Enlightenment.
Oh my God! Well,
but
yes,
we have done in the middle.
I remember doing Terminus at one point. I'm going to state right now, for the record, we are not doing the Brendan Shepard version of Enlightenment. Full stop.
Yeah.
We're doing the
Is that with extra stuff?
No, that's the truncated one.
Yeah, it's 16 by 9-ified and stuff, and yeah.
Oh, didn't Fiona Cummings still?
She did. I feel like there was a hostage situation, though. I don't know. It seems bizarre
same thing
to
with
me.
Planet of Fire?
Yeah, same thing with Planet of Fire, yeah.
At least in the Brendan Shepard version of Planet of Fire, it shows like, a baby Turlo or something like that.
Yeah, we were all waiting for that. Yeah, I think it's a rocket ship, and there's some weird stuff, and I don't know. Tachyon TV did a commentary for it. Just watch that or listen to that rather.
Yeah,
without even watching. Actually, that's the only time I've seen that is when I listened to the Tachyon TV commentary along with.
Is that the one where they went out played frisbee because they're so bored?
No, that's
Mark of the Rani.
Mark of the Rani. They're wrong about that. Mark of the Rani's great.
No,
okay.
I don't mind Mark of the Rani. I like Clubber and Time of the Rani.
Have we done we've done a commentary for Mark and the Rani? That sounds familiar to me.
And Time of the Rani.
And we've done all the Ronnies. That's right. Mm-hmm. Jonathan from
We've done the two Ronnies.
Yeah,
she's coming back. She's coming back.
She will be.
There's the one Ronnie story we have not done a commentary on.
I know. No, we have. Did we do a commentary?
Oh, we did too. Wasn't that a Patreon thing?
It was a Patreon thing, yeah.
That was a Patreon thing. You're right. So we have done all three of the Ronnie stories. Dimensions of Time.
We've covered the Ronnie. Yeah, covered her up. Not like that guy on that boat, the first episode of Triangle, if you know what I'm talking about.
I was waiting for that. And you delivered.
I didn't think I'd get there. I have to say, did not think I'd sort of like find a way to tie the two together, but I did it. Well,
that certainly beats watching the matter at hand and annoying people by not doing so, which I'm just as guilty of.
Rhea Silva is, of course, a hat tip to Howard De Silva doing the
I'm sure it is, yes.
Time life narration on the first batch of Doctor Who episodes in North America.
I've said it before. Every time I search for Doctor Who with Siri on my Apple TV, I go, Doctor Who. I always say like Henry De Silva.
Doctor Who crashes into the underworld.
I can't not do it.
Doctor Who finds out that the mummies aren't actually from ancient Egypt at all. They're from Mars. Find out in the next episode of Pyramids of Mars. Doctor Who.
You think I'm exaggerating, but I'm really not.
Nope, you are not.
The Rift Machine. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff on YouTube for those who care to check the veracity.
Of the Howard De Silva. I think we mentioned this earlier in the podcast. I mean,
there's a bunch on well, I was going to say there's a bunch on the DVDs, but they're only on the North American DVDs.
Well, yeah, obviously, because it'd be ridiculous. Yeah. But they're not all on the DVDs. They only were on some of the early ones.
Just some.
I like how this bugs you. I can't get all the Henry De Silva.
I want them all. They annoyed me when I was a kid. I mean, I just said, why? Why is this man talking to me? I know it's Doctor Who. There's supposed to be credits here. Even then, I could tell they're doing something wrong. We're seeing a romance
now, was
blooming here.
Was this a slight bit controversial on British TV at the time?
Probably not at the time, no.
Because what, 2009, something like that? 2008?
7. I think barriers have been knocked down.
I think there's a little more, well, I don't know about that, but very little.
I think it was a big thing, I suppose, in, the fact there was a same-sex kiss in Doctor Who, the first series of modern Doctor Who, mostly just because, hey, this is a family drama and we're watching, this happen. I don't think it caused that big of a stir.
And they're expecting it because Queer as Folk had been
Queer
made
as Folk,
RTD,
I think,
right?
just
so, yeah.
kicked the door down, I think. I mean,
when did that come out? Early 2000s?
99, I want to say.
99, okay.
Yeah. That was RTD's first big breakthrough, I want to say.
Was Casanova before that? I thought it was...
No, it was after.
Casanova was 2005.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Casanova was just before Tennant became Doctor Who, and Second Coming was 2003, I think. Yeah.
And Bob and Rose just before that.
I didn't see Bob and Rose, but I obviously saw Second Coming because I had to, there's a Doctor Who in it, so that's how I watched things.
I haven't watched it since like 2000.
No, have I?
Or something.
I feel like that should be a BritBox thing because that's a good show. That was good.
I remember being
BritBox keeps teasing that they're going to have like 7 maybe.
That's the UK version, I think, isn't it?
Oh, damn it. Come on.
I know. Hey, BritBox got rid of the first 19 seasons of Midsummer Murders, for God's sake. They only have 20 and 21 up there now. We were like flummoxed.
They do have the sandbaggers, so I will always.
I know. Well, here's also the thing: you cannot. It is written in law. You cannot start your own streaming service unless you have Midsummer Murders on it. So it's everywhere. It literally took us 4 minutes. Like, where else? It's on Prime. Okay, let's just watch it on Prime then. It's everywhere. It's on Tubi. It's on Prime. It's probably on. It used to be on Netflix. It's not anymore because Netflix is just getting worse and worse. If they get rid of Star Trek,
I think they'd throw on Pluto.
Oh, I bet you it's probably on Pluto. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek better not go off of Netflix because it's on Crave, but man, does it look like crap on Crave.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to go over. I don't like that. I know. Looks pretty good. They use the Blu-ray versions on Netflix. It looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, and they look great.
And
I don't want Paramount Plus to screw things up for us because we don't get Paramount Plus, nor do I want Paramount Plus.
We have Paramount Plus, but we don't get all the things on Paramount Plus because of
that.
Confusing rights issues and stuff because... As we've said before, companies are making shows before they actually start their own streaming services, which means they sign multi-year distribution deals with other places, and then they're beholden to blah, blah, blah. Torchwood is happening in front of us. Good episode, right, Chris? Good
this
episode.
is kind of the climax. We're getting close to
digging
it.
it.
Yeah. It's very good. Torchwood grows up within the year, to their credit.
Yeah.
The first few episodes are remarkably puerile.
Yes. And this is less pure.
Yeah.
Having said that, we have a giant bad monster coming our way next episode.
I recall something about
Abaddon. Abaddon was kind of cool.
Abaddon's kind of stupid.
Abaddon. Named after a Roxy music song, of course.
Oh, and you're kind of a dick.
The rift took my lover and my captain, but my first lady is the sea. Is he just quoting Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, like he is? In the Line of Duty, is he quoting is that the TV show Line of Duty that he's quoting there?
That didn't exist yet? Yes.
Did it exist yet? No. Oh, jeez, he shot him. I remember him shooting him.
I forgot.
Having not really
this.
paid much attention to this, I don't know why he's shooting him, though. But is he closing the rift? He's closing the rift, isn't he?
He's opening the rift.
Opening the rift. Oh, right. Because this ties into the...
And this is also smart penultimate shooting, because basically you've just got these guys in a room, and then you've got Tosh and Jack in another room.
Yeah.
And this, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And Gwen, wherever the heck she is right now.
With what's his name, shooting random shoes. Is that guy's name Tim? I need to know what his name is so I can look him up. It's bothering me.
I'm sure there's a character list or something in the credits.
Well, I know because I'm looking at here, there's a guy named Tim, but I don't know if that's the actor. Is what I mean to say.
All right, come on, you're missing something very important here.
Am I?
Research. Uh-oh. But that's two men. This is 1941.
Hide the children. What if
I'm
they saw?
What's he doing? I'm reading the I may be right, I may be wrong, and I thought, is that the Billy Joel song playing here instead of this?
I would kind of like to see
right.
that.
Yeah, I know.
You may be right,
I know. Listen, I've played a few weddings on my day, all right? I know all about that song. He probably knows that everyone's memory is going to be wiped at this point, right? Because
see, this part I can believe. Like everyone's kind of just gone off the floor and they're just rubbernecking.
I don't know.
They seem respectful, which I have my doubts about.
Maybe they're just so taken aback. Like, how can they be so bold? This is 1941 for crying out loud.
This kind of reminds me though of the best thing about the Watchmen movie, which isn't a bad movie.
Oh,
which is oh damn it. Which is where they open with all the sort of historic montage stuff, and then they have the famous scene of the sailor kissing the bystander, but it's two women in that version of it.
Oh, nice. Maybe I should have watched these episodes before we did commentaries on them, because I know there's a touching scene happening. Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
There
That's
it is. Yeah.
Make out party!
Because now he dies, right? Now the actual Captain Jack dies somehow.
Does he die in the line of duty or at the hand of a angry mob in this very room?
I don't know. Yeah.
Line of duty.
Line of duty.
Duty.
He's shipping out tomorrow or something like that.
That's what he tells all the boys.
Yeah. And they're going through the rift of some sort. No, you're going to die, and I'm going to take your name. No one is going to remember you. Bye. Oh, look at that. He's been taken out of time. Is he an Eternal? Is that what just happened?
Yes, that's exactly what they were going for.
Yeah.
Here.
You ephemerals are all the same. That's the same guy from Enlightenment, the aforementioned Enlightenment.
Didn't they name check the Eternals this year?
The most recent, I believe they did. In the Can You Hear Me? Yeah, they mentioned everyone from the Celestial Toy Maker to. Mostly just to throw people off the scent. So like, no, it's not them. It's not them either. No, it's not them. Dutch angle. I don't remember the things about this episode.
No, I do not either.
No. I do remember, like, bits of it are bobbing back into my mind. Like Yanto shooting Owen.
But it's still not bad. I don't.
No, it's good. It's good.
My previous summation was accurate.
Mm-hmm. No, the really terrible episodes are the better ones to commentate because you don't have to pay attention to them. Were they Weeping Angels? The Weeping Angels were mere months after this. It's fascinating to think about. And, you know, this is like the triple bill. We had Invasion of the Bane earlier this day, didn't we? On CBBC, or was it on BBC One? It showed up on BBC One, I think, actually.
CBBC.
Was it CBBC or was it BBC One? Or 2 or 3 or something like that. I thought it got a bit of a glitzy premiere.
Maybe it was BBC One. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was the one-off movie. It was like an hour-long episode. And
yes, with the annoying person who got replaced.
Keisha, what's her name? Oh, here we go. This is it. First thing you learned. That's the first rule of Torchwood. Don't mess with the rift. The second rule is don't mess with the rift. How many times, Owen? I can't change time. Time may change me.
Lisa's back.
Was that Lisa? I don't remember this episode at all. I gotta tell you. I don't remember it. I didn't remember that Lisa came back.
No, me neither.
I don't remember anything about it. So
I think it might be a hodge and a podge.
Could be. Well, there we go. That's a good episode. That's an award-nominated episode of Torchwood right there, everyone. It went from weird sex gas women to being nominated for a Hugo in less than a year. So good on Torchwood for doing that. That's a hell of a turnaround. And for all the people involved who are reading right now, who made the television show. Happy New Year's, 2007. Yeah, you betcha, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. All right, well, you saw it there, folks. Next week, we wrap up Series 1 of our Torchwood Revisited commentaries with End of Days, the finale to the first debut of Torchwood in a world where Torchwood was a thing.
Invasion of the Bane was BBC One.
There it is.
Put it out there before we wrap.
Absolutely. Because we would forget in a week or in a few minutes, depending on when you're listening to this, or for the three of us recording it. So until next time, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.
You've been listening to Radio Free Skaro. Find us online at radiofreeskaro.com. Follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at Radio Free Skaro. Subscribe to us on iTunes and donate to the show at patreon.com/Radio Free Skaro. Thank you.